Say something, Bill.
Hello, testing, 1, 2.
Hey, neat, we got you. How are you?
I'm in good shape.
How's the weather up there today? We've got the most beautiful day of the year in San
Are we
Francisco.
on the air now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay, well then. Well, our weather here, as you know, Jack, is just fantastic. Why, we've got some snow and water and everything. I've got 4 cars parked out in front of this house, man.
Why did you... Go ahead.
I got two RRs.
2 RRs.
A Cadillac and a hot Plymouth.
Cadillac and a hot Plymouth. Mr. Hara takes pretty good care of you up there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. As a matter of fact, the Plymouth does 140 miles an hour.
You're kidding.
Yes.
He gave you that to drive?
He gave it to me to drive, but I can't take it out of the state of Nevada. Son of a gun. I was going to get 3 more people, 3 more of my relatives, so we could drive all 4 of them home.
You got everybody there. You got your mother with you?
Huh?
You got your mother?
Yeah, Mom's up here.
And
I tell you, did I tell you before when we were up there gambling and you lost that $500,000?
Listen.
That, my mother kind of made the dollar have a little value for me after I dropped to $600,000.
What did she do that made the dollar have value for you?
Well, she stole from me.
Your mother stole from you, Cosby?
Well, it happens all the time. She, if I leave any chips around or any money around,
Zap.
She and Camille work both pockets. Mom's got the left and Camille has the right. There's nothing. She left me with no chips, no nothing. I can't wait for Erica to grow up and find out the value of a dollar.
And another baby's on the way. When's the other baby due, in August?
Other baby's due in August.
Yeah.
We'll be over in Rome in June.
Doing what?
Filming an I Spy. We're going to shoot I Spy in June in Rome.
You know, Bill, the first time you and I were on the air together, you remember that?
Yes, and you asked me to give some advice to the young and up-and-coming stars.
Do you remember that?
Yes, because you mentioned it to me in the dressing room.
Well, I wasn't going to, but that wasn't the part I was thinking. But the first time you and I were together, I was working in the morning, and you had just opened at the Hungry Eye for the first time. Do you remember what... I got
up one morning to come in to see you.
You did what?
I got up one morning to come in to see you.
You were waiting here at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, I was.
And we went on the air together. And this was your first really big club date, wasn't it, at the Hungry Eye?
Yes, it was. I was waiting to get my BS in comedy from the Hungry Eye.
Had you any inkling then of what was coming?
I never did, man. Even when I got to series, I never did. I always figured, because people would say to me, you're going to be, and I would say, well, listen, when that time comes, okay, But up here, and also on the college campus, it's a fantastic thing, man, to walk into a gymnasium and do a show for we had 7,400 people up in Lubbock, Texas.
For heaven's sakes.
And the tickets were gone in 72 hours, man.
Well, the concert we're going to do Saturday night at Cal is not yet sold out, but it's happening real fast.
Well, why are they so slow up there? what seems to be the trouble? I would expect of all the concerts to be sold out, that the one at Cal...
Well, it will be. It will be. Listen, you're too modest to say this, but did I understand that you have broken the off-season record at Harrah's in Tahoe?
Yeah, we did. As a matter of fact, the funny thing is that the waiters are complaining that they're working too hard. And you go by there and they say, oh, boy, I hope you don't come back next year. We've got so much work going around here that it's not funny.
You mean because there's so many people in the room?
Yeah.
Well, last Friday and Saturday night, now Bill only does 2 shows a night. The management asked him to do 3 shows because they had so many people. And so they did an extra show Friday and an extra show Saturday, which means they accommodated half again more people than they ordinarily accommodate, and they still turn people away from each show. Is that true?
Yes. And my mother, being a true mother, ran out and took pictures of people standing in line to see her son.
Did she really?
Yes. And she had little interviews. Well, how does it feel? Do you really feel that he's wonderful or what? Because, I'm his mother, And I always thought that he was a funny guy. That's why I pushed him into show business at the age of 1.
mother's a pistol, by the way.
Yeah.
How do you like the television series?
I really, really dig it, man. One hand feeds the other, you know, and I keep the comedian and the spy separate.
Right.
And I got a movie offer from a big company, which I can't name because the contracts haven't been signed, nor have they really finally said yes, we'll take Bill and star him in this picture. But I got an offer along with a couple others. The other movies all were either Sidney Poitier rejects, meaning they couldn't get Sid because he was doing something else, or it was some racial thing where they really wanted, the thing said this guy is a Negro who is having a problem somewhere, and of course we turned them down, man, because that's our whole format. But then this big company came through, big Hollywood company came through with a script, and one of the guys said, listen, Bill, read it, and Howie Morris is the director of it, of the picture, which is going to come about. He said, we've talked to two big name stars, and they want too much money for it, and we'd like to see if Bill likes it so we can talk about it. Well, it's about, 3 months since, man, but this picture there's nothing racial. There's nothing that, where a Negro helps a blind girl or a Negro helps an invalid or he helps somebody that's down.
No message.
Nothing about it. It's about a guy that works in the mint, and somehow the money that he's counting, $50,000 of it, gets dropped into a bag of fudge that's by his side by accident, and he throws the fudge into the garbage disposal, and of course, as it's grinding up, he looks and he sees the money's going.
Oh,
the
boy.
Garbage disposal, and the little greenies are all being ripped to pieces.
Oh, boy.
And that's when the fun starts, because he's got to put the bread back. And it's a hilarious picture. If I can do it, and if I get at least 70% of my best potential going in that picture, it'll do the same thing for me that, put Tony Randall and Jack Lemmon and Trinity Curtis and guys like that up there as, being just funny farce guys.
Would you ever, or at least at this stage of the game, would you consider a very serious acting role?
No.
I know even the I Spy thing is serious, certainly, but would you consider a heavy dramatic role?
No, because I'm not interested in that. I want to have the same reputation that a Jack Lemmon has, that a Tony Randall has. I want to do comedy, man. I'm not interested in I am interested, but like my love and the reason why I exist as Bill Cosby, the comedian, is that I want to bring out laughs. I want to be a funny guy. And there's so many little things that I want to do to get across on the screen that I've never seen before, but they're so small, but they mean certain things to me.
Well, Cos, I know you and Culp have gotten very close. Has he been a lot of help to you, acting-wise?
Oh, very much so. He's been more help to me than any acting coach or anybody I've ever hired. I've had two of them. One guy gave me what I think I told you about readings, where he would say, "No, listen, you say it this way," and then he would say it, and I had to mimic him, and I fired him in about 2 seconds. And the other fella I just couldn't relax with, so I let him go, and then Bob and I just stood around, and we would read the parts over, and he would never say, "No, say it like this." What he always said was, "Listen, Bill, think about this. Here's the situation. Here's what you're doing. Now, try and persuade. Try and tell me what's going on and what's happening." And I never had any problem with him, man. He's a great guy. And by the same token, a wonderful thing. He said a wonderful thing the other day. I don't know if you've ever watched Bob or seen him before I Spy, but many people, if you know him, know that he's always had like a little stiff face, never smiled or anything like that, so forth and so on, but has always really had in the back of his mind a great bit of humor. But in working with me, and he didn't say, Bill, it's because of you, because we never really say that to each other, because it's embarrassing. We know what's happening. But he said, up until I Spy, man, in the last couple of months, he says, I've never really known how to laugh and how to make people laugh, And he said, man, I've learned that thing, and now he even smiles, when he's walking around. He's learned how to handle people. He's learned how to relax, man.
So just as he's helped you, you've done the same for him, really.
Yeah, we've rubbed off, and we've stolen the best of each other, I would say.
How long will the series continue? Is there any way to tell?
I'd say at least another 2 years, at least.
It's been very successful. And by the way, I just talked to somebody in L.A., and they said the Smothers Brothers will be done at the end of this year. Did you know that?
I'm sorry to hear that.
I am, too.
But, we talked about that, and to be frank, right over the air, I don't think that they were handled properly at all. I think the most successful formula for any comedian or comedians doing a series is that they should not do their act. Nobody should do their act. They should remove themselves from the stand-up bit, which they do, and go into the series and do something else, because any comic on any stage is accepted because of his personality, not because of his act.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you want to get across, the attitude of your personality.
In case you joined us late, by the way, I'm talking to Bill Cosby up at Harrah's in Lake Tahoe. Bill, I want to ask you one more question. When I came back from Tahoe, I hadn't seen you in a while, and I would guess that 30 people said to me, you hadn't seen Cosby in a while. Has Cos changed any? And I don't think you have, but do you feel that, now look, in a couple of years, a lot of things have happened to you, all good. A good marriage, a wonderful wife, kids, and a career that's just a sensational, skyrocketing kind of thing. Has it been tough to handle? Have you found that it's tough to handle, that it's changing you, that you're fighting it?
No, I'm not really fighting anything. I'll tell you what has really happened. People that really dig you, or people that really dig me, the number has, multiplied heavily by the tens. And it gets so that we can't go out, let's say, to the casino and gamble, because, while you're concentrating on your $35 or whatever is on the table, some nice lady comes up and says, can I have your autograph? And, of course, you can't refuse it. And you sign it, and then when you turn around, the guy has stolen your money. That's a little difficult. It's a little difficult because when you walk around and they can't accommodate all of the people that have come in to see you, at least, 100 will say, gee whiz, Bill, I've driven all the way from Sacramento to see you, and they've turned me away. Well, I can't do for them because that's the number that they've let in. The recognition is fantastic. I have to learn to handle that. And I refuse to, and I don't want to remove myself from the people. I want to make it so that I can walk around and shake hands and say hello and how you doing, because, they've grown to love me for that. They haven't grown to love me because I stay off and I hide and I'm a mysterious kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just that personality, which and which the people think that, is mine, but they're not sure of, because many people are skeptical, and many are ready to really believe, well, he's made it now, he's not the same anymore, he's getting highfalutin. People are very quick to throw that in your face,
Of course.
It's like with autographs now. I don't sign any out on the floor anymore, because when you do that, traffic's moving back and forth, people are trying to get to the tables. So now what I do is I just tell them to put the name and addresses on the card, and then give it to the girl at the reservation desk. Well, you ought to see how many people look at me and say, yeah, well, you probably got a stamp, and you just stamp the thing. Like heck I do. I sit up here in a sauna bath, and I sign, like whatever the number is of cards that come in there. But they don't believe that you sign your own cards. And they say, well, he's gotten too big now, Martha, let's keep walking.
Oh, it must be tough. It really must be tough.
No, but it's an enjoyable thing, and I'll examine everything as I always have done, and I'll weigh it and see what happens, and if it proves to be a better thing just to keep away, then I'll sit in my dressing room, But if it proves that, hey, listen, you can go out there and say hello to them, and they'll shape up and believe what you're saying, because I have no reason to lie to the people about an autograph or anything else.
Trini Lopez once told me here, he says, I just became a millionaire 2 weeks ago. And not 6 months after that, Roger Miller was in one day, and he says, you know what happened to me yesterday? And for some reason I knew. I said, you're a millionaire. He said, that's right. My accountant called me yesterday. You must be pretty close.
No, I'm not either.
Really?
No, because these guys, they become millionaires because they sell millions of records. Now, Cos, I think we made probably, with all 3 albums together, just past the million mark, which is a fantastic thing for a comedy record. My mother's eyes are opening. She doesn't know I'm talking about records. She thinks I'm talking about dollars. She just opened her mouth and said, I wasn't know. She was going to go out and buy something. And that's the great difference, And of course, Trini and Roger sing, and they're beautiful people. Singers always have it over comedians. The comedians' only real, chance to make a million probably comes through the movies. I think I'm the first comic, which is what my manager has disclosed to me, to have all 3 albums at the same time on the charts. We were in the Billboard and Cashbox thing, and that's a first. But the series has done all that for me. Had I just remained Bill Cosby the comic, I doubt very much if I sold half of the albums that are already out.
But the television did stimulate the record sales.
Oh, very much so, man. The series has helped it, and I've tried to tell Bob how important it is to get out and make some personal appearances, not only for the money, but just so that the people can see, and I said, we'll get a little song or something, or we'll just write a 10-minute.
You mean Bob Cope?
Yeah, go out and see some of the college kids, because I know they really, really dig it.
Yeah. Cos, I got to go.
Okay.
Give my best to your mom.
All right.
And the family.
All right, and give my best to Ian and Sylvia if you see them before I do.
Listen, Ian and Sylvia are not on the bill Saturday.
What happened?
Sylvia has the flu, and you'll be working with the women folk.
You're kidding.
No.
Well,
I
maybe
thought
that's
you
what
knew.
happened because, I'm not knocking the women folk or anything, but I worked with Ian and Sylvia when I was in Greenwich Village.
Yeah, but Sylvia's got the flu, I think.
Is that where she caught it?
What?
Is that where she caught it, in the gaslight?
I don't know where she caught it.
But she shouldn't have taken a flu shot.
I'll see you Saturday night at Cal.
I'll be on the Tonight Show Thursday. We'll
Okay.
say something about the concert.
Lovely.
In case people don't know anything about it.
All right.
I'll tell them that I'm working with the wonderful Jack Carney.
Please do that. I've never been mentioned on the Tonight
Is
Show.
that right?
Never.
Well, you got it then.
Thursday,
You got it.
I'm going to sit up and watch it to the bitter end.
No, sir. You watch it until your name goes on and then leave.
I'll see you Saturday.
All right.
Stay well,
Now
Bill.
listen,
Yeah.
a word of advice.
Okay.
Don't buy any more saloons. I'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bill Cosby at Harris in Lake Tahoe.